Hey guys, Austin here with Bourboneering for another Wednesday video. Today is a little different. I'm starting a journey through wine. I wanted to jump in on the ground floor with you guys since y'all kind of jumped in the ground floor of my whiskey journey, starting with wine. I'm not going to go near in depth in wine as I am into whiskey, don't worry. But I thought I'd kind of catalog this journey as well as give you some tips that maybe you didn't know that I'm learning along the way. I am by no means an expert. I say this all the time with whiskey, and that's definitely true, but it's even more true with wine. I'm not an expert at all. I'm a novice. I'm just beginning. So I'm passing on these tips as I hear them. They might change and develop as I go along, so take it with a grain of salt. Go check out some experts if you're here for the first time and want some good advice. This is just following my journey. So anyway, today let's get started. I'm just going to talk about how to taste wine and give a quick review of this bottle, my review of this bottle. Do it the same way I do my whiskey. Nose, taste, and value / availability. Mainly value, because I don't know the availability of wine. But the review I give, I use a fresh crack. You can see this has been opened already. I use a fresh crack and took notes in here, and I'll talk about that later. So my review is based off this, not off what I'm tasting now. But I'm going to pour some now to show you how to taste. I'll talk about how I preserved my wine in a second. This was a fresh crack yesterday, so it's almost empty. Now, normally, start off with this. I like to give wine some airtime, especially a drier cab like this. This is the French Bordeaux. It's from the Bordeaux region of France, and that's going to be a whole other video when I actually learn what all this means. I know the different regions. I jumped into a little bit, but it's way more confusing than like American wine regions. But it's a 2015 Chateau Louvet. I'm sorry about the pronunciation. Saint-Emilion Grand Cru. I'm so sorry for that pronunciation, but here's the label if you can't see it. And we're going to use this as an example of how to taste wine. At least how I've learned so far. Now, if you're tasting a lot of wine, you probably do this with whiskey too. You should have a spit bucket. I never do a spit bucket when I taste whiskey, so I'm not going to start with wine. Alright, so first thing first, you want to look at the color. This one is a nice dark purple. I'm using, for notes, just like I do with whiskey, I use my 33, from 33 Books, it's 33 bottles of wine. I have an interview with their founder on my podcast, so go check that out. Just a great little walkthrough of everything, kind of take notes and everything like that, and they have flavor wheels you can fill out in color. So like I said, this is a vintage 2015 Bordeaux French wine. I got this for about $30. Let's start with the color. Very, very dark. On the scale of clear to brown, this is maroon, so it's very, very, very dark, in my opinion. Looking up to the studio light here, very, very dark. So next, of course, we're going to go with the nose. Unlike whiskey, you can kind of keep your mouth closed. I try it both ways, but I get way more when I keep my mouth closed when I'm smelling it. Smell it normal. I also give it a little spin, give it a little aeration, let the aroma come out. And I have notes here. It's a little more buttery now, it has some air on it. But the nose I got yesterday was rich berry and strawberry jam, very jammy, not like fresh fruit. A little bit of earthy and mushroominess on the nose. But this is a lot more jammy today, a lot more sweet on the nose. And normally when I taste it, like I said, this one, when I took these notes, I put it through an aerator. I let it sit for 10 minutes after that. Is that enough? I don't know. If it's too much, I don't know. I'm learning. But I took his advice and let it sit. So, nose is very good. So you obviously want to focus on the nose, take your notes. It's a fantastic nose. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 on this nose. It is... I love dry wines, and this is just not quite the in-your-face cab like a like California Cabernet is. But this one, this wine is 80% Merlot, 20% Cab Franc, so it's dry but not super dry. It's nice sweetness on the nose. That's a 4 out of 5 on the nose right there. Let's see, give it a taste now. Do it like a whiskey. First sip is just a sip. Get your first impressions, and after that, kind of get all around your mouth, get it everywhere. notes I wrote down, definitely got that jamminess, but it's super dry and astringent. It makes my mouth water. Makes me want some more. Take another sip real quick. I get a mushroom note, believe it or not. And the only reason I know that is I had a miso soup with some mushrooms earlier. And so that tastes kind of fresh in my mind, and it's right there. Really good. Really, really complex. It's more complex than a lot of basic bourbons for sure. It's completely different. It's a different world, so I can't compare it to whiskey. What's good? I mean, so well, just walk through the whole point. Give you a basic way of how to taste, how you start enjoying it. I'm no expert. There's a lot of better ways to taste wine. This is just get you able to get started and start tasting things and take notes from it. I'm gonna walk you through my flavor wheel here. First, I'm gonna give it a 3 on the taste. It's delicious, real dry, real earthy, and it's really good. Now, my value score, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt because I'm really not used to the market. I'm still shopping for things under $30, $40 for sure. This one's right around $30 for this bottle. So I think it's a good value. I want to buy it again, but I don't have enough experience to give a good note on that. So I might have to come back to this one value-wise. But I'm going to give it 3 on value. So let me average out my score here. And so it's 4 on the nose, 3 on the taste, 3 on the value. That gives us a 3.33 out of 5 on my rating. And that's what I gave. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars on the book because they don't have a way to really round. Gave it 3 out of 5 stars here. But it's fantastic. I would buy it again for sure. But this is not here. We're not here just for the review. Here to learn how to taste. So review. Look at the color, just like whiskey. It's really just like whiskey. Look at the color. Take in the nose, swirl it, take the nose, just like whiskey. Taste it. First sip is just a sip. Second sip, kind of coat your mouth. Really think about what you're tasting. Do that a couple times. Drink some water. Do it again. It's fun. It's just a lot of fun. So that's my little foray into wine, at least chapter 1. I'll do some more of this if you like it, so let me know. But definitely, I'm not leaving whiskey, trust me. A little bit more about this bottle. In case you experts want to know, I don't know what half of this means. I'm learning. I really want to get into the different regions and appellations and stuff in French wine. But I don't know what they mean. But I'm going to read it off to you just in case you're curious. So it's appellation is Saint-Emilion Grand Cru Contrôlé. 80% Merlot, so that 20% Cab Franc, which is different from the Cabernet Sauvignon. It's their own kind of variation, but it's very close, very dry. It's a red Bordeaux wine. It's aged in oak barrels for 12 to 18 months, well structured with long keeping potential. 15% alcohol, so it's up there. It's when the store I went to, the experts in Martin's wine cellar nearby, love them for their whiskey selection too, but wine selection is top notch. She's saying it's very good to get some airtime on this, and I agree. It's opened up, even just drinking it a day later after opening it, it's fantastic. I did kind of do some wine preservation there, and we'll talk about that in a different video, but that's all I got this time, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. If you want to keep talking about wine, I will. If not, I still might anyway, but we'll see. Cheers.